The moon hung low over the desolate stretch of Route 19, a ribbon of cracked asphalt cutting through endless fields of brittle corn. Most folks avoided this road after dusk, whispering tales of strange lights and shadows that didn't belong. But Jake Harper wasn't the superstitious type. He'd been driving his beat-up pickup all day, hauling scrap metal to sell in the next county, and this shortcut promised to shave an hour off his trip. The dashboard clock glowed 11:47 p.m. as he passed a weathered sign, Miller's Farm, 2 miles. The cornstalks swayed in the night breeze, their dry husks rasping like whispers. Up ahead, a lone scarecrow stood sentinel in the field, its silhouette stark against the moonlit sky. Jake barely glanced at it, just another tattered figure stitched from burlap and straw, arms outstretched on a wooden cross. Its head sagged forward, shadowed beneath a wide-brimmed hat. He turned up the radio to drown out the eerie quiet, some old country tune crackling through the static, then the engine sputtered. The truck lurched, coughed, and died, rolling to a stop right beside the scarecrow's field. Jake cursed under his breath, popping the hood and grabbing a flashlight from the glove box. The beam danced over the greasy engine, but nothing seemed obviously wrong. He slammed the hood shut, muttering about his luck, and that's when he heard it, a low, guttural creak, like wood bending under strain. He swung the flashlight toward the field. The scarecrow was gone. Jake blinked, his pulse quickening. The post still stood there, naked and splintered, but the figure that had been lashed to it was nowhere in sight. Probably just the wind, he told himself, though the air was still now, heavy with an unnatural chill. He turned back to the truck, fumbling with his keys, when something scraped behind him, a slow, deliberate drag across the dirt. He spun around, flashlight trembling in his grip. The scarecrow stood at the edge of the field, no more than 10 feet away. Its burlap face was crudely stitched, black thread forming a jagged grin that hadn't been there before. Straw spilled from its sleeves, and its gloved hands twitched, as if testing their strength. Jake's breath caught in his throat. He hadn't seen it move. It was just there. "Stay back," he shouted, voice cracking, though he wasn't sure who he was yelling at. The scarecrow tilted its head, the brim of its hat lifting just enough to reveal 2 hollow, glowing eyes, burning red like embers in a dying fire. Then it took a step forward, its wooden frame groaning, straw rustling like a nest of serpents. Jake bolted for the truck, slamming the door and twisting the key. The engine whined but wouldn't turn over. Through the windshield, he saw the scarecrow lurch closer, its movements jerky yet impossibly fast. It reached the road, one gloved hand dragging a rusted scythe that hadn't been there moments ago. The blade scraped the pavement, sparking in the dark. Panic seized him. He kicked the door open and ran, abandoning the truck, his boots pounding the asphalt. The cornfield loomed to his left, a maze of shadows, but he didn't dare veer off the road, not with that thing behind him. He risked a glance over his shoulder. The scarecrow was gaining, its legs bending at unnatural angles, straw spilling in its wake. Those ember eyes locked onto him, unblinking, and a voice, low and guttural, like wind through a hollow skull, rasped from its stitched mouth, "Trespasser." Jake's scream was cut short as the scythe swung, a silver arc slicing through the night. He stumbled, clutching his side where blood now seeped through his jacket. The scarecrow loomed over him, its grin widening, threads popping as the burlap stretched. It raised the scythe again, and Jake's world went black. By morning, the truck sat abandoned on Route 19, its driver's side door ajar. A few locals drove past, shaking their heads at the fool who'd stopped there. No one mentioned the scarecrow back on its post, its burlap face stained with fresh crimson, its straw hands clutching a torn scrap of Jake's jacket. At night, it would hunt again, waiting for the next soul to pass its field, Miller's Farm, where the corn grew tall and the shadows grew hungry.